Hello everyone, it's John from DoubleSleeved here, and welcome to another Drafting with John. If you're enjoying these videos, make sure you like them and subscribe to the channel. We really appreciate it when you do. We are having another Zendikar draft today. The last couple have been interesting experiences, shall we say. We're hoping that we can just chill out, relax, kick back, and have a good, enjoyable experience. Okay, so I've watched a few drafts online. I've seen what the situation is, what people are doing. It feels like, unfortunately, as with a lot of these drafts, there becomes quite a narrow spectrum of sort of good decks. The black-white cleric deck seems to be the one that everyone, or a lot of people, are touting as the kind of main powerful deck. Looking here, we're kicking off with a very strong card. There are just a lot of good cards within that kind of set that you can draft. But I have seen some really good decks in all colours, so really happy to take the Null Priest. Great for getting something out of the graveyard later on in the game. Really good as a Menace Lifelinker. Not, there's loads of black-white here that we could always pick up, so not really a problem. And to follow that up, practice. I think what I've not been doing enough of is using some of the instant speed spells that help with combat. So I think I don't think this is a particularly good pack, but it's never a problem to have a land. I'm not going to go out here to try and draft black-white clerics because I did that last time and I don't like doing the same deck more than once in a row. I just think it's boring. But I don't, that's the dual lands, the dual face cards are definitely the best cards. So return a card from your graveyard. Now, Vastwood Surge, I think, is a good card. We do have that cleric, although it's not a particularly good one. Green seems pretty good here. Like, I do like Vastwood Surge. So you play it early on for 4 and you get 2 basic lands out. You play it later on for 8 and you also get 1/1 counters. There's nothing else here that I'm like kind of bending over backwards for. The Skyclave Sentinel has kind of proved to be a fairly strong card later on in the game, and I think I'm one for sort of drafting a little bit too early in the picking things that are strong at the start of the game and ignoring the sort of late game that inevitably happens. So here he's lithoforming is not for us. I don't dislike this card, especially as it's this dual face. The Felidar is very good, but specifically kind of in landfall or a deck that kind of needs bulk. The Blood Priest is good. We can't get away from how good the Blood Priest is. I think what's important is that Null Priest isn't specifically cleric driven. So it can be in any kind of deck. I just think having double face cards are really strong. I do, some of these green cards are good. But we'll take the Pelika for sure. Okay. So the Celebrant is a bit of an unlocker for the cleric deck. The Flash Flyer is good, but we're not really in blue. The Snake doesn't do it for me. Not a bad card if you need to, spread the party love. Bit of life gain is okay. We're going to continue to hedge our bets. None of these three are worth taking over that. So we've got the wizard. He's not great. I actually really like the Gloom Hunter. I think it's 1/1 lifelink flyer. It doesn't offer us anything in terms of party, but it can be a good late game as well. So yeah, happy to take that. Okay, so a bunch of cards here I'd take. I've not really had much use for that yet. However, we could take highly the kicker cards that get 1/1s. Subtle Strike is something I want to look at more down the line. I wonder whether or not we're kind of pushing ourselves down one route. Although I don't, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm going down that route, and I don't really care. Adventure awaits. I mean, here he's binding, though. Oh, man. See, the alternative to something like that, I mean, here he's binding is kind of a bit of a sign. Blood Beckoning is good, but it's not worth taking. We'll pick this up, and we're going to end up, yeah, we're going to end up going into... Yay. Okay. Well, we tried. I tried to not go into it. I'm going to take that. Okay. I mean, we've definitely got an option here. That goes without saying. Okie dokie. So the looking at this pack, we've got, unfortunately, a good red card. We're not interested in changing into red. Got too many cards as it is. Not helping us in terms of counters. It's not really doing a lot for us. This is a white cleric that's also a dual face card, so it's very good. I would take the human rogue if it's still around. I've already got one of these. I'm not that bothered by. Again, the bat's good, but not better than the dual face card. And then obviously, if we were going to go into green, we would take those. So I'll take the cleric. Okay. At this stage, I don't necessarily want to. As I said, I'd much rather try something a little bit different. Now, I see there is a chance, because we're looking at what, 1, 2, 3. If we went here, we could potentially go 3 colour. I just don't know if we've not really got enough strength to go 3 colour. We're just going to be incredibly boring. We're going to need to pick up some good black cards though, because right now it's not happening. Also, I feel like I'm absolutely covered in fur. Okay, so this is a tough one. We've got Feed the Swarm, which is great removal, but we've also got the Blight Priest, which is kind of key for us. I feel like Feed the Swarm works better. And we can pick up the Blight Priest at a later date. If you think right now, that's kind of where we're at. We're going to take another one of these celebrants for sure. Okay, so we've got a big worm. How often are we going to have 1/1 counters? Basically never. This might just be taking the Felidar and seeing where we go. Okay. So we're not, at the moment, we've got nothing that's Cleric synergy, right? It is just that they happen to be that kind of cleric-y thing. I'm happy to just go a bit heavier and take a highborn vampire, and equally take the Skitter Sneak, just to give us something a bit more top end, because right now we're kind of just all front gas, and we're not really doing anything. So we just want to pack a little bit further up. We've got a couple of, you know, removal spells. We're gaining a bit of life. We're not really doing anything with the life gain. I don't dislike Vanquish the Weak. I think it's a pretty... I've not really played much with it, but I've seen it used to some good effect. I'll take another one of these just in case we need it. We could do with some cards that are going to start to give us some payoff, some real, you know, some really decent payoff cards required. Yeah, I'm not really a big fan of that. I wonder about disenchant in terms of some of the enchantments and artifacts out there are really strong. I just think we're probably better off having something again up the higher end of the... and we wield the Blight Priest. Isn't that nice? So that gives us a little bit of something to play off with some of the life gain we're going to get. Which isn't really a bad thing at all. So... there's no one in green, which is a bit of a shame. Okay, so this is a bit of removal, and it's just a 2/2. Alternatively, we could do a little bit of that, a little bit of that. We don't really want any of those. Mind Drain's okay. We might wheel it. That would be nice. Again, the Constrictor. More 1/1s. If we'd have gone black, green, 1/1, that might have worked. But yeah, there really isn't a lot else. It's going to be the Apparition. I'd like to think that we're going to get something that will benefit us. At the moment, if we're just looking purely at, you know, we've not really got anything that's like party related. So having zombie bats isn't going to hurt us. The Stonework Pack Beast would be great if we had something that required us to have, you know, there's the Outrider. Other than that, I think we just take the Gloom Hunter. Okay, what a shame. What a shame. Green, green, green. Would have been great. Should have gone green. Didn't. This can be a bit of removal. It's a bit of high end, but again, if we can muster up, we've got a couple of rogues, a cleric, a warrior, a cleric, a couple of clerics, a couple of wizards. You know, more clerics. There's all sorts of stuff we can do there. Another Subtle Strike or another Celebrant. I think we're just going to take the Celebrant and hope to wield the Subtle Strike, which we won't do, but we can always dream, can't we? We can dream big. We actually could do with a few more playables. Now, probably will, at this stage, look to run both of these. And there's another one. 4 is probably where I'll stop. Oh, he says that. I think Mind Drain's good enough. Good enough to take. What's this guy? Not a lot. That's what he is. I mean, we'll take that for the sideboard. Not really use it. So at this point, with 3 land cards, we can kind of play 14, 15, 16, 17. A 1/1 flyer isn't really helping anyone. And I'm not overwhelmed by the 1/2. Another Mind Drain. Would I rather have another Mind Drain? Probably. At this stage we're just taking whatever chaff comes through. So I think we're pretty much where we are now with our deck. Just didn't see any of the really key synergy pieces. And I think what's important here is if... Oh, we did get the Soul Strike. That's cool. Is if we play this deck and end up whiffing again, big time, then I'm going to be very much of the opinion that we stop drafting based on what we think could be the best deck and more just go for whatever the best cards are, which is, you know. So I'm likely to play the Shelter as a land. I mean, Skyclave Cleric is okay. And again, I'm probably like to play the Peleka Predation as a land. So I actually think 9 and 8 is not a bad combo. Creature wise, we're very creature heavy, but we still have, you know, a Subtle Strike. I thought we picked up 2, but clearly just 1. Do we pick up just 1? A Subtle Strike, a Feed the Swarm, a Vanquish the Weak, and a Nahiri's Binding. So I don't feel too bad about that. Why can't I? Let me name my deck. There we go. Cleridiculous. There you go. So we've got our deck. Obviously, I need to win all these games. Otherwise, I look like some sort of sellout that chose to draft Orzhov Clerics again for the second time in a row. So this is fine. We can play the Cleric as Skyclave Cleric as a Cleric, which is good. And we still have the mana open for Vanquish the Weak. We will be sacrificing, potentially, the Nahiri's Binding if we can't get another Plains. But it's good to get A bit of life gain, and B, something on board. And power 3 or less kind of does cover the vast majority of early play. Instant speed Vanquish the Weak. If they've got... Well, there you go. Okay. I'm not sure that that's how I intend to win all the games. But, hey. We'll take that first game. Clearly they drew something like all lands or something silly. But... And/or I just pay people to do it, you know. So, I know who I'm going to play and I pay them in advance just so we don't get any embarrassing... I can't afford to keep losing... every game. JK kidding. I'm not even going to start to try and pronounce what's going on there. Now this is a risky keep because we have got a lot of 2-drops. We have both our colours. They've mulliganed. I'm happy to keep. If they're going to mulligan, I just need one land of any variety. Obviously white would be good for many reasons. But I've got kind of all of the pieces to really pop off. Yeah, and there you go. It was a perfect keep. Next thing we do is we draw a 2-drop so that second turn isn't wasted. Unfortunately, they didn't listen, but that's fine. Okay, so they can play something significant or not. They're going to hit us for 1 or... Yep, okay. So, I'm going to go Core Celebrant just because it'll hold back this tangled whatever it is. Okay, flyers are not great. And it's got too high a CMC for me to deal with, which is annoying. So we are going to start taking things in the air, but we do have enough things in the deck to deal with it. We would end up taking 5 damage if we pulled to feed the swarm, but we do have a Nahiri's Binding somewhere, so hopefully. Let's see, what do they want to do with 5 mana? They haven't got anything to kick, otherwise they'd have kicked. Oh, they're doing nothing. Okay, so I actually think, and I know this is arguable, gaining 2 life and pinging them for 2 just feels like the right thing to do. Next turn we have the ability to capture the Riptide. Which I think we're going to want to do. So they could just stop this, which is fine. If they want to use us. And I actually think I want to keep this to play kicked. I'm sending them all in. I'm well aware that potentially they could have some sort of buff spell or whatever. I mean, I still have the apparition. I'm happy just to take 4 again if need be. I want to know what they've got, what they're using their mana for, what their plan was, because anything that stops me from attacking and blocking doesn't really do a lot. Well, that's a pain. For them, obviously. Doesn't stop my attacks, though. Potentially stops the Blight Priest because of that, but... Okay. Just wanted to draw a couple of cards. Fine. I mean... a 3/3 lifelinker. Gonna gain a couple of life. They can't really block. Or they can. Clearly they've got some sort of spell, which is fine. I assume it's going to be a spell that's going to save them and not kill me. Okay. Interesting that they chose to just kill one. But, fine. Aha, here we go. So they played a kicked spell. They're now going to benefit. So that's a Trumply what's it. So I think the best bet here... They've not got anything in their graveyard, so that's not really helping. We go again, which shuts them off, really. Now we need to draw like the Subtle Strike. I think what I've learned here is trying to go in for one. Like, I'll just take the 4. I'll just play out my hand. I've got no reason to wait. I think this is enough. Okay, it might not be enough if they're going to send it back to my hand. Okay. I almost definitely did have enough, but for whatever reason decided against it. Again, they're going to need something pretty special. Okay, so they had missed their white mana this whole time. That's not ideal for them, is it? Okay, so they didn't kick it. I don't think. Again, happy just to sit back, I think, really, here. Next turn I play Prowling Felidar. They don't really have favourable attacks. They're not in anything that can kind of really... they can get rid of this Blight Priest or the Celebrant, which would definitely be advantageous for them. They're looking at what to destroy, possibly. But I've got good blocks here. If they go in with the Falconer, I'll take the 4. My life total is certainly higher. This might tap something. Or maybe a couple of things, I can't remember. Return a creature. Returning a creature isn't going to help them. Because I will just replay the creature. And to be honest, next turn, I'm more than happy to just replay both of those as just straight creatures. Why wouldn't you also go in with a Tazim Raptor? Okay, so... I mean, I literally just need to play my Kabira Outrider next turn and I win the games. Unless they can get rid of the Marauding Blight Priest or the Core Celebrant. If they attack with it, yeah, so. If they've got something to stop it, then there you go. I think it's this kind of cycle that is what's proving to be very powerful and very difficult to stop. Just isn't a huge amount of removal, because a lot of blues removal is kind of tapping and locking up, but it doesn't stop the abilities from popping off. I feel like I'm... We have a white cat, and she will ensure to cover every tiny aspect of your being with the hair. Infuriating, to say the least. Bin Chicken. Well, what a name. I don't back down from a challenge. One swamp and it's a different game. Are they mulliganing? I really do think that there's a weakness there. Mulliganing feels so wrong. You see, because look. And I actually think I'm gonna go for my 3/3. So as long as it has a 1/1 on it, it can attack, but it can't. Okay, so it's not. And And it's a 3 mana. So I'm happy to lock that up. It does give them a 3/3 spirit if they can get rid of it, but okay. Yeah, I'm happy just to let this go. I like to keep Null Priest for recursion purposes. Okay. You know, for instance, I'll be able to am I being stupid? Oh, I need another black. That's annoying. Okay. Well, when I get another black, I'll be able to. I should have played Prowling Felidar and then a land, but hey ho. It would still have been able to kill me. So this timer has increased in pace for them. Okay. Without a mill strategy, it's difficult to get over this +1, to get over the 8 cards in my graveyard to give them the +1 and the menace. So, I mean, next turn we'll play the Skitter Sneak unless we get the extra black mana for. Okay. Pretty happy to offer the trade. They need to put something down, otherwise. Okay, so they're going to pull back the domination? No, they're going to pull back destroy power 3 or less. Okay. No need to attack at this stage. We've got massive board presence. Yes, they can destroy something. They're probably going to want to destroy that, which is fair enough. But I have lifelink in the Null Priest, so... Okay, they're going to do it again. Fair enough. Can't argue with that strategy. Again, can't argue with that strategy. I think I'd probably rather take out the Marauding Blight Priest. Oh no, this is terrible. So that does have lifelink. I'll just let him have it. I'm aware I've probably got lethal on the board, but... I think I need to think about this one really carefully. They can gain 3 life. You know, which is fine. Okay. So if I send everything in, they're going to gain 1 life. They're going to go to 5. This is an instance for math is for blockers, you know. We got there. I mean, we probably could have got there a long time ago, but I'm trying my more cautious approach. I'm a gold 2. Okay, well, this is kind of what, you know, I was expecting to happen. Actually, that reminds me. Let me just quickly make sure. I realised I wasn't plugged in to the old Wi-Fi. I'm plugged into the Wi-Fi. That's technical right there. I wasn't plugged in. I needed to make sure that we can't let this thing drop out. It's happened before and it is a pain in the backside. It's a good Iron Fist. Again, look at this for a start. Turn 2. A bunch of turn 3s. 3 lands. You see, what's this about? I literally just plugged in. Is it because I just plugged in? I don't want to be timing out. No one wants me to be timing out. Hopefully this just brings us straight back in and I won't have to edit this video. Because no one wants me to edit a video. Okay, okay. Are you going to give me another hand or am I going to be allowed to keep the one I just saw? Excellent news. Okay. Gain a little bit of life. And we'll just put a little blocker out there so that we don't get that early aggro. I'm not going to risk that. That's probably a better blocker. I'll attack if they want to flash something in, then by all means. I'm not sure there is anything at 3 CMC. So they chose to do nothing with their turn. That's interesting. There's plenty to do with 4. Okay, so they're going to go and get 2 lands. Interesting decision. Well. So that thing's too big to capture. What have I got out at the moment? Cleric, Cleric, Cleric. That's annoying. Yeah, it hitting me for 5 is fine. I'll hit it back for 7 if they don't play anything. We have things that can deal with that. Next turn I can Drain a Silencer, which is fine. Be interested to know what they've got. Play down a nice big creature or something. What is this thing as well? What's that all about? Taking their time, having a good think. Sigurd Iron Fist. Okay. So it's just a big 5/5. Okay, that's fine. I think at this stage we'll get them to get rid of a couple of cards. And then we'll pass. So that thing's got vigilance. I don't really want to take 10. Probably the Ghastly. Yeah, okay. I can't say that this is looking good. So I'm going to have to block. A pump spell and... Okay. So they kept the Core Celebrant alive. So that's that win condition gone. They've just gone for like just big green stuff, which is fair enough. I can't argue with big green stuff. That is useless to me right now. Okay. Giving them a 2-2 wasn't always going to be the best thing, but I can get rid of it with Vanquish the Weak. Just going to keep playing big things. That's a pain. That is a pain. I don't fancy my chances here at all. Okay, so I need to... we can't kill anything. Well, I'm not sure what I've got that will be able to do anything here. This might just be the first L. That happened. Okay, there are worse things. Such a shame. It's going to be virtually impossible to come back. Oh wow, another one. Okay. Shame. Shame, shame, shame. What can you do? What can you do? Okay, so we're on our 3-1. As I said, the prerequisite of going for Orzhov Clerics is that I have to win. Really, I should be at 6 or 7. Otherwise, it was a waste. I haven't even got the main. We'll keep it. Main uncommons. So we've got to hope we draw a 2-drop. We've got plenty in the deck. But 4 mana, happy with that. I've got something to do. There's definitely some questionable decisions in my last game as to whether or not I should have done things in the order I did them. I need to take a breather when I've got decisions to make and not just rush into it. Talk through certain things. Well, at least this video is going to be slightly longer and you'll all know that I've done a little bit better than previously. How can I make these more interesting, by the way? If you're still watching, what can I do to spice it up? I will do more draft and craft. I'm not sure if that necessarily spices it up, but I will do some more of those. Obviously, the aim is that I need to keep recycling the cost of this sort of going infinite, as they say. Wasn't helped by a couple of poor performances in sealed and in obviously in draft. But okay, so we've got somebody who's a little bit. I mean, I was away last game, so I can't really. I'd rather that we didn't have a timeout. I mean, I'll take the fourth win with a timeout if I have to. I'm not above it. Not above it at all. I do wonder how many people have the strategy of just sitting there timing out to see if they get a quick win out of it. Obviously, it wouldn't work with me. I'm going to mute them because these dogs are so annoying. They're like so annoying. Totally. Just gonna, you know, a little passive aggressive hello. Land go. I didn't get a hello back, which maybe I did, but I muted them, so. What are you going to do? Thing is, they're gold. Tier something big, like maybe tier 1 or something. So it's not like they've never played before. Oh, good. That's good. That's really good. You gonna play something or in pass or? I don't really want them to go through each phase, bringing it down to the wire, because it's not going to be enjoyable for you guys. I don't think it default plays lands for you. Certainly not that quickly. One timeout used. I'll probably go vampire. Just slightly higher power. It might not matter if they don't play something. It may be that they've seen black-white clerics and thought, I don't want to have to play against that. Certainly not with Wise Old Tree on at the helm. I think, is it this time? It's either this time or the next time. Yeah, I think it's this time. If it goes to the bottom, then they just lose, which is a real shame. I feel like I've got a hand here. Maybe this is like they're trying to play on hard mode. I'm definitely keeping this in the video, by the way. So that's a shame. Maybe it's this next one. If they don't do anything, they time out. I want to give them at least an opportunity to be there. Internet connections are, you know, a genuine problem. So I don't want to be that guy. But I can't physically kill them any faster than I am right now. They certainly, if they were there, they would not have got rid of the Expedition Champion and not played a land. So, you know. If you have any beer suggestions for draft and craft, let me know. I'm trying to do ones I've never had before, so it's a bit more interesting. Rather than just me being like, oh, a drink I like. I think this is where they forfeit, which would be a shame. But also, I'll take the win. There we go. Well, that's a shame, and I'm sorry that you all had to sit through that painfully, but hey-ho, I had to sit through it too. Which is apparently a good reason. You can always skip the video, like, I can't skip the video because I'm in it. Right, 4 and 1. We power on. I'd like to have a couple of 2-drops in my opening hand. I'd like to see 3 mana, 4 mana, a 2, a 3, and a 4-drop. That's the dream. Obviously, there's no one else out there who's ready to play a draft. Oh, tell a lie. If they mulligan, I'll keep this. They're definitely thinking about it. Or they're AFK as well, in which case it doesn't matter if I keep it or not. Another annoying pet to deal with. Thing is, there's quite a lot up here that's quite high mana cost. Makes me a little bit nervous. But I've got plenty of lands in the deck, so I'm not too worried. Probably will keep this. Well, honestly, there we go. I was going to say, like, I really don't want to sit here. It's making me nervous. I'm going to play that tapped because I really don't want to not have something out. Wow. So they've got something that they can respond with, but I just want one swamp. That's not a swamp. I'm going to be taking 6. That's less than ideal. And they've probably got something to... Oh, man. I'm going to be taking 6 and I lose my creature. Well, it might be 4-2 before long. At this point, I will chump a 6. I just need mana. Oh wow! Okay, okay. Oh man. What do you do against this? I can only do like one thing. Can't even kick that. This is so bad. Shouldn't have kept the hand. Oh man, I'm not even gonna play. Wow. What was that? You just got to know when you've been bested, I think. Right, it'd be good to do a 5-5, 5-3 at this stage. Oh dear. I love how, like, I've got 4 wins and 2 of them were people who just weren't even there. Sometimes you need a little bit of luck. This deck clearly needs a lot of luck. Okay. Solrax. Come on then. Well, with that, this is keepable. And we'll play that out. Oh, and the Nahiri's Binding that we've only seen like one of. Okay, blue. Green. Wow, no, this is the business. Go on then, get rid of it. Lock it up, whatever you need to do. All 3 colours. That will get out of hand quickly. I don't mind them wrapping it up. I just don't want them to get rid of it, because it's kind of like the win con. Maybe I shouldn't have led with it. Yeah, that's fine. Good use of their turn. I mean, I'll happily just do that. Core Celebrant, Core Celebrant. This is absolutely fine. Next turn, we go another Core Celebrant. Okay, fair enough. So that gets rid of the 2 things that they were doing. And that's fine. They can hit me for 7. They can lock that up. That's fine. I'm doing 3 damage to them with a Highborn Vampire anyway. I think that's it. I think that's game. Is it a bad way to win? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's not the best way to win. But, you know, it's a strategy. And like I said, this isn't even like using some of the really devastating... What's that? Oh, lovely. Cards that are out there for the cleric, black-white cleric deck. I've not got the uncommon or the relic vial, which are both the 2 sort of big hitters. There's the other black vampire. I mean, we'll take this as well. The 2 mana, gain life equal to the number of party members. Oh wow! So we go Gloom Hunter into Celebrant. And then we go probably Outrider. So this is where, with the Subtle Strike... Ooh, okay. Okay, so whenever they put a land down, things are going to get crazy. So the question is, do I want to go... Either they get rid of lands, which slows that down. Okay, so they're going to want to put a cat out. Just fair enough. Okay. So like the core celebrant's great for life gain, but it's not doing anything without the blood priest, whatever it was. Okay, so well, something went wrong. I'm not quite sure what. Well, that was a bit weird. I could have sworn I blocked. Did I get that wrong? Well, that was a pleasantly awkward way to finish this video. Someone tell me what I did wrong when they watch it. I'm not sure I was going to win that game anyway. So, clearly, Clerics are good. What have I also learned? Like, going big in green, lands matters. Definitely another strategy that I would urge people to think about. As it is, a 5-3. We'll take a 5-3. It's kind of our bag. We've got a couple of packs out of it. So we can't really argue. I appreciate you all for watching today. It was thoroughly enjoyable. I hope you learned something. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.